Wanted to give a quick update on my book with the subtitle How to Be Evangelical and Gay Affirming. Uh, First of all, the title. I want to talk about the title. So I'd been going back and forth on what the title would be. I did a survey or a poll and asking people to choose between two different titles. And one of them was One Family, the other one was something about an inclusive gospel. Neither one I was very happy with. Yeah. So anyway, forget that. But here's the thing, a title should pique your interest, but the subtitle should tell you what the book's about. So, as I said, the subtitle is How to Be Evangelical and Gay Affirming. And I've decided the title is going to be The Wideness of the Sea, which I think is much more interesting as a title. So, the book is coming out. I'm hoping late October, probably about a month would be ideal, maybe November, but I'm kind of aiming for about a month from now. And I'm really excited about it. It's going to be about 45,000 words, which is like 170 pages, maybe, depending on the typesetting. But it's so satisfying to be at the point of writing that I'm currently at. So when you write a book, this will be my 18th published book. When you write a book, at least in my experience, it's like a lot like climbing a mountain. And when you climb a mountain, you're initially in the lower part of the mountain, you're in the trees, below the tree line. You're not seeing a lot. You're doing these switchbacks. It's a real grind. It's hard to get the motivation to keep going, to be honest. And that's why most books, at least in my experience, that I've tried to write have been abandoned in that first stage. But there comes a point where you break through the tree line and suddenly you can see how far you've come. You see all the lower mountains and mountain lakes below you, and you see the peak rising as a rocky cleft far above you. And now you get inspired and you really start going up that mountain and you keep your eye on that peak and you're going to get there. And now it's no longer a question of will you climb this mountain, but rather when you will get to the top. And I'm in that stage now. So I'm in the stage where above the tree line. I can see the mountain lakes and the other mountain peaks around me, and I'm going for the top. And it's a very satisfying point to be in the writing process. So I'm going through the manuscript now. I'll probably go through it 4 or 5 times, just fine-tuning things. And then I'll go to the print stage where you print it and then you read it through. And with a pen, I pick up things to correct marginalia, comments that I want to make, and other things. And then it'll finally be at the typesetting stage. So I'm excited about it. And obviously, there have been dozens of books written on this topic. I think that I find a niche, an important niche, that I don't know of another book like this, where it is arguing not really so much to be affirming, but rather to recognize that one can be evangelical and be affirming. And that will be the unique space that this book carves out, is to really take you step by step through explaining how this should not be an issue that Christians or evangelicals even divide over, but rather they should recognize that you can have evangelicals who are affirming and non-affirming, just like you can have evangelicals who are Calvinist and Arminian, or complementarian and egalitarian, or pacifist and just war advocates, or credo Baptist and pedo Baptist, or dispensational and covenantal. I can go on, give you endless examples. In the same way, you should have evangelicals recognizing you can be affirming and you can be non affirming. And I believe what that will do is it opens up the space for dialogue. Here's the thing, the truth is, millions of evangelicals are now affirming, but they do not feel the freedom to be able to share those convictions with their neighbors and family and friends and churches and their pastors because often they're afraid of moral censure and something worse. A book like mine hopefully can open up that space where they don't have to feel that anymore, where they can show through the arguments of the book that they are thoroughly evangelical and they simply disagree with their non affirming neighbors and friends and family. in their evangelical churches. So keep your eyes open for the book. It's going to be coming a month, maybe 6 weeks, like the wideness of the sea.